Here. All right, we are live. So thank you so much for your patience. For those that were waiting for us on TikTok, we're about 8 minutes a little bit late because it took us a second to get our other platforms together. Really wanted to make sure that um, we had our show broadcasted on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube, and the other places that we are. Well, anyways, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I am Marike Michelle. We have Asia, Ashley, and Rajani in the house with us tonight, the butterflies. And tonight we're going to go ahead and continue with part two of Loving While Healing. And today's conversation is a serious conversation. And so before we begin, I ask that everybody listening take care of yourself while you tune in. Get some water, step away if you need to step away, and then come back when you're ready to come back, because there's going to be some hard topics, but they're also necessary topics. And so, this part two of Loving While Healing series, we're going to go a little deeper tonight than we went last week. And I apologize for those that are on LinkedIn and Facebook last week. If you missed it, you can go to our YouTube channel and catch last week's replay. And so we're here because we want to talk about healthy sisterhood. Okay, we're talking about pseudo-love. We're talking about what happens when people who are unhealed, unguided, and disconnected from self and thrown, right? Thrown into a world that profits from confusion, a world that really profits from division, hypersexualization, and pain. We live in a world that loves this stuff, where we're becoming so desensitized that people are more quick to pull out a phone than they are to run to somebody's aid. And we're also talking about why pie is needed, because this is not just about relationships, it's about survival, it's about dignity, it's about spiritual maturity, it's about creating real communities where women can heal, where we can grow, and stop being consumed by a culture that keeps teaching us to betray each other, that keeps teaching us to betray ourselves and who we are as women. So tonight is not about shaming any specific person, but it is about telling the truth. So we've seen heartbreaking stories online, including the recent one that I just realized that this was in December and I did not realize, but still is close enough, of a young woman losing her life online. And, we see rumors right now flying about what happened in Houston spring break, and the conversations about, how much disease and how unsafe sex, how ruthless the generation is. And whether every number online is accurate or not about what happened, the deep truth remains the same, that too many of our young people are being fed a false ideology on love, a fake ideology on freedom, a fake ideology on their worth. And it's costing us as a people. It's costing us emotionally. It's costing us spiritually, physically, And sometimes it's costing us with our own lives. So tonight, buckle up because we're calling out our sisters. We're calling you in. We're not calling you out. We're calling you into truth. We're calling you into healing. We're calling you into community. We're calling you into real love. And so, with that, I'm going to bring Rajani in. Rajani, go ahead and take it.
Thank you, Mr. Rike, and good evening, everybody. So, yes, to everything Mr. Rike said. And I wanted to share that healthy sisterhood is not performance, right? Because when we talk about healing, so oftentimes we also have to talk about sisterhood because a lot of women say they want community, right? But true sisterhood requires maturity because healthy sisterhood is not about gossip and gossiping about each other. It's not a silent competition, right? Where you're smiling in someone's face, but you're secretly hoping that they're going to fail, or tearing her down because she's having a hard day. And it's definitely not sleeping with their partner, okay, or preying on her relational downfall. Healthy sisterhood says that I will not use your struggle as a weapon. Oops, can y'all still hear me? Accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, it said I won't use sisterhood as a weapon, and I will not use your struggle, excuse me, as a weapon against you. Right? Healthy sisterhood says that I can be honest with you without humiliating you, and it also says that I can see your humanity and still hold you accountable with love. Right? So it's not a matter of expecting perfection from anybody, but still pulling them up from love with love. And at Pi, that's what matters because when women come into healing spaces, they are not showing up as finished products, right? We don't come in to heal with all of our wounds, patched up. We are still showing, we're still showing up with traumas, with fear, with insecurity, with wounds, and sometimes behaviors that we don't even fully understand ourselves. And if we're quick to judge one another, we shut down the very healing that we say we want,
Yes.
right? And even whether that be within ourselves or we might trigger someone else to shut down because we didn't extend the love and accountability that they needed. And so a healing container allows people to be people. It does not mean that anything goes, right? You can't come in act any kind of way, but it does mean that we respond with wisdom instead of tearing one another apart, casting each other aside, talking bad about each other, all of the things that you see on the TV shows, right? We don't do that here. And
Right.
that is what healthy sisterhood looks like.
Thank you so much, Rajani. That's real. We can't learn how to be a safe with one another. Um, then how can we build something that's everlasting? Coming into a sister circle, understanding that everybody in the circle has gone through trauma, including us, right? Including me, including all of us. And so giving one another the opportunity to learn one another. It's a relationship. Given the time to learn one another and seeing each other's hearts and holding on and trusting that just the way the framework of pie coming in, you should say this is different. But then knowing that it's a transitioning together because nobody has fully arrived. We're always changing, we're always evolving, we're always growing, and to give each other the space to do so. So now I want to bring Asia in. Asia.
Hi. Um, I will be talking about Um, the fact that pseudo love is destroying our people. There's a difference between real love and pseudo love. Pseudo love is what looks good from the moment, for the moment, but leaves damage behind. Pseudo love says, give me your body, but not your safety. Give me your attention, but not your peace. Give me your vulnerability, but I will not protect your heart. Pseudo love is often rooted in trauma, loneliness, performance, and fear of being alone. And that is dangerous because many people are not entering connection from wholeness. They're entering from starvation, starving for affection, starving for attention, starving for validation, starving to feel chosen. And when you are starving emotionally, you can call almost anything love. That's why discernment matters. This world keeps teaching us to chase intensity and call it intimacy. But real love does not leave you broken, confused,
Can y'all
unsafe,
hear her? Okay, it's me then. Go ahead.
um, confused, unsafe, and disconnected from yourself. Real love should not constantly push you into chaos. This is why healing matters before we start attaching ourselves deeply to other people. Not because you must be perfect, but because you need enough self-awareness to know when something is harming you.
Okay. Thank you, Asia. I'm sorry. My connection is going in and out again. So hopefully y'all can hear me and I'm not going in and out. Okay. Because she was going in and out toward the end. So hopefully the audience could hear too, because um, from my computer, I don't know if they're listening to TikTok or if they can hear you guys from your TikTok. So quite sure. But anyway, thank you so much, Asia. That word starvation is powerful because many people are coming from a place of hunger and don't even realize that. Coming from a place where they want it so desperately, they need it so desperately, not realizing to take that time to actually let love court them, to let themselves be healed by love, to know what love is before they jump into another relationship. You know, we see these with these people that will get out of a relationship, they're in another relationship, and they're in another relationship, and they're in another relationship, jumping, looking for something in somebody else that you really need to find within inside of yourself first. And so thank you so much. And now Ashley, your turn.
So we have to be honest. The standards being sold to our people are destructive. The music, the images, the social media culture, the pressure to be hypersexual, emotionally numb, always performing, always proving. It's shaping how young people think about worth, love, and freedom. And the results are painful. Unsafe sex, broken self-esteem, spiritual confusion, disease and violence, disconnection, and more women being harmed by partners, by so-called friends, and by environments that were never safe to begin with. We cannot keep acting like this is normal. This is not freedom. Freedom is not doing whatever your wounds tell you to do. Freedom is having the clarity and discipline to choose what protects your life. So we need spaces that teach our women how to think, how to regulate, how to heal, how to build, and how to stop confusing self destruction with empowerment. This is, that is why conversation matters.
Thank you so much, Ashley. And that's exactly where I want to take us now. because we cannot keep naming the problem without offering a. I'm really hoping that my stream is working because you sounded worse than Josephina did. And
You
so
are going
hopefully
in
my
and out. And
stream will.
you are going in and out a little bit, but not
Huh?
horribly.
Okay. So the main teaching that I really want us to focus on right now, and why pi is so important. For 3 decades, I've been saying that what gets funded, what gets written for our community, and what gets presented as help is not reaching the deepest pain in our communities. Too much money goes around our people, and it never truly gets to the populations suffering the most. Too many programs speak about healing, but do not create safe containers where people can actually transform. Too many people want to teach before they've completed the purifications of mastering their own spiritual self. Too many people get a little bit of knowledge, get a little platform, get a little attention, and now they want to lead others while still deeply plugged into the same confusion that they're trying to free people from. And at Pi, we don't pretend, we do not perform healing. It's not performative. We actually walk. I understand that true transformation will never reveal our dark places, our hidden places, our reactive places, our jealous places, our fearful places. Excuse me, true transformation will reveal these areas. True transformation, let me say that again, will reveal our dark places, the hidden places, the places that sometimes we don't even know that things are hidden. Ancestrally, they'll say that called shadow work or looking back, reconciling. So my thing is, instead of pretending that we don't have to work out, instead of pretending like we're so anointing and we've got it all together, instead of performing for others to see, for others can feel as though that we're something, I ask that we address the woman in the mirror. We don't pretend. And that's why this work is not for everybody. But if you're looking for performance, for me to dress a part or to look a way or to talk a certain way, that you're accustomed to performance spirituality, Pi is not going to be the place for you. If you're looking for fake positivity and you just want accolades and people to, you know, without you doing the real work, Pi is not for you. If you're looking for a place where sisterhood is pretended, everybody acts like they've arrived and everybody is so, dipped in glitter, Pi is not for you. Pi is not for you. If you're looking for a place where titles and names and everybody's chasing that type of stuff, Pi is not for you. But if you are looking for a place where you can truly grow, where people allow you to be human, well, we still hold you to your healing. then Pi definitely is for you. Because we're building healing containers over here. And healing containers require truth. They require our discipline. They require truth, our discipline, true love, and spiritual maturity. At Pi, we know we're not monolithic. At Pi, we know that we come from different spiritual tribes. And that's okay. We're not over here trying to compete with one another about whose pathway is better, whose pathway is right. We're not doing that. We're not looking for superiority over one another, because that becomes another distraction. And while we're distracted, harm continues. Our children are still being shaped by systems that don't have any love for them, while we're complaining about another righteous woman. Our minds are still being colonized by standards that do not even honor us. Our communities are still suffering from inherited fear, inherited division, and inherited mistrust. So at some point, we have to ask, are we truly operating in true love? Are we truly operating in true love? Or have we settled for this counterfeit love, this counterfeit version of love? Because true love should lead us back to true ownership, ownership of our minds, ownership of our culture, children's education, ownerships of our gifts and our talents, and ownership of our communities. True love should make us want to stop destroying one another and start building together. So that's why Pi exists. It's not just to help women feel better, but to help women heal, lead, create, and earn and build from an ecosystem that sustains life. And that's why we do is urgent work. And with that, I want to bring the butterflies back in, because this movement is not just about me. It's about what we are building together and what the next generation of facilitators is stepping into. So I'm going to return it to Raj, Ash, and Asia. And how do growth? We'll start with you, Rashani.
Yes. How I want to see Pi grow is I want to see it to grow. I want to see it grow into a space where women can truly feel safe enough to heal, but also strong enough to lead. And I want to see us teach women how to regulate and how to build healthy community and how to stop shrinking themselves so that they can be all that they were meant to be. And I'm ready to teach or help teach the next class in April because I know that so many women need spaces like this right now.
Yeah. Asia.
Um, I want what I want most is to see women who may never have felt seen finally find a place where they can grow without pretending. I'm ready to
Yeah.
complete my internship and continue moving forward to becoming a full facilitator because I believe this work is needed. And I want to be part of helping the next women that come in and heal.
Thank you. Ashley.
I want to see PI expand into something that reaches women across communities, across cities, and eventually across nations. I want women to know they do not have to stay trapped in pain, confusion, and toxic cycles. I'm ready to teach, support, and welcome the next class in April because this is the kind of work that can change lives.
Okay, awesome. I really hope that it's not messing up on when I go back and look at the broadcast and it's just, me, because we're sounding real robotic over here, but hopefully everything will sound okay when we upload it. But thank you, ladies. Thank you, butterflies, for your support, for your love, for the love that you have for other young women, the desire that you have to continue to learn, to continue to shape yourselves, to continue to perfect yourselves, transform yourselves in the areas, um, so that you're preparing. And so I just want to come off script for a minute because we have a little extra time. But I want it to be known that these young women have been training now for over a year, prepared to take over. They are fully equipped to train. Asia is only thing Asia's keeping her from being a facilitator is we need another class so that she can finish. But as soon as she finishes that class, she's a full-time facilitator. And so, these are your first set of teachers right here. It would not be myself, but these are your first set of teachers and your peers. And these young women, I can't speak more highly of. And I can't think of a better set of young women to come into and, walk beside me as we bring this to fruition. And so thank you again, ladies, for everything. And so if you know me, I've been saying this and I've been around for years, saying that it's urgent. If we don't get back and get into our community with our daughters, we are going to lose them and we're going to be faced with a whole generation that nobody can talk to, nobody can come in to sit down with, and nobody can really try to get them back on the right path. And I'll tell you, we are very close to that. We are very, very close to that. So how do we stop it? It is very urgent. And families are falling apart, and it's urgent. It's urgent that we start pulling together because for 30 years, I've watched the gaps. I've watched what gets celebrated. I watch what gets funded, and I watch what gets called healing. While the deepest needs in my community continue to go unmet for decades, to the point now where I go in the physicians, everybody talking are my children's ages. Growing up, doctors used to be older than me. Now I'm older than my doctors. I've been around for a while. And so I know what I see. I know what I've been talking about. And so I am asking for your support. Right now, we're seeking young women ages 24 through 29 who are spiritual, who are thoughtful, who are already outside of the matrix and have leadership in you. And you're looking to join a community where you can grow and you can sit with an elder woman that will really sit with you, and allow you to be you, but will hold you accountable, but will also pour into you. Then I'm asking you to join me at PI. We're also seeking young women ages 18 through 24 to join our training course. And we give away 25 free seats because I know access matters. Here are your facilitators. The next class starts April 22nd. And so if you know a young woman who is between the ages of 18 and 25, she must be BIPOC, please contact us. We will love to have her in our class. And I'm calling in the tribe of true love, both male and female, those who are serious about the truth of healing, those that are serious about growth, and those that are serious about understanding that decolonizing ourselves, the way that we think about each other, the way that we think about love, our community, our purpose, our connection. If you understand it and you've made it out of all the systematic foolishness, and you understand that we do not have to be fighting one another, then we want to speak with you as well. Because in May, I'm going to start a new show. And that show is going to focus on connecting those who operate in true love. And I'm ready to talk about it honestly, about what love really is and what counterfeit love has done to us, and how we begin to free ourselves from the matrix and reconnect to something deeper, something purer, something more life giving. So if tonight resonated with you, don't ignore it. I invite you to walk with us. I invite you to build with us. I invite you to support us in this work because the need is real. The time is now. And we are here. And so I'm going to let the butterflies chime in if there's anything that they like to add. And then if not, we're going to get off a little early tonight. Does anybody have anything coming up that they'd like to share? Let's take a second and big you up. Anybody have any programs coming? Anything that they're excited about? Any book releases?
I do. That I'll share. So I actually am have producing a book and a workbook on self-concept and knowing who we are. I mean, who we are is a deep question, right? But just who we believe ourselves to be, and how how we show up, and how that impacts every aspect of our lives, including our income, right? So that's something that's in the works for me with the workbook, and it's going to build out from that. But yeah, it's actually not yet available in my bio, but that is something I have coming up.
Okay, and where can people find you at?
You can find me on TikTok, here on TikTok, at too big to be small, spelt out regular underscore between each one. And then Instagram, you can find me at Coach Rashani. And that's Coach RACHANEE, all one word.
Awesome. And Rajani, where are you located? Where is your 5S? Where your butterflies going to be coming from?
So I'm located in Georgia, in the Metro Atlanta area. So I'll be head of the Metro Atlanta chapter.
Okay, Metro Atlanta. Big up yourself. There's your coach right there. Big up yourself. Mind you, we are virtual, but we are looking for boots on the ground. So if you're in Metro Atlanta, hook up with Rajani, meet Rajani. That is going to be your coach right there. All right.
I'm a lot more lively in person.
Who's going next? Josephina, Ashley, who's going next?
I'll go. I ain't got nothing. Nothing to promote at this moment, but I'm the facilitator for the San Antonio, Texas area. Well, all of Texas, truthfully, but I'm in the San Antonio.
Big up, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, you heard San Antonio, Texas, all of
Mhm.
Texas. But if you want to meet her virtually, I mean, face to face, San Antonio, Texas, stand
Antonio.
up. There
Yeah.
goes your facilitator. Again, we are virtual, but if you are in these areas, we definitely want to meet you,
We
boots on the
want to
ground,
meet
start doing things together. Okay. So that's Ashley. That is your facilitator for Texas. All right. Josephina, let's go. What's going on, baby girl?
Hi. Um. Uh. Well, what we talked about is that I have a book coming out, but it's more so going to be four books coming out instead. I had to split it up. Uh, Me and my partner uh helped me trying to get everything settled. So it is a four. It is technically it's a six-part series, but the first two are already out, and then I have four upcoming, which I still have to work on. But hopefully, in the next couple of months, the third one will come out, and the rest will follow. Um, and yeah,
And are there books, purchasable books right now?
yes, the first two are on Amazon. Uh,
Name, titles?
the they have they basically have the same title, but it's volume one and volume two. But it's called "Is This My Life?" Um, it is about love, heartbreak, all that stuff that I dealt with growing up. Um, and the next four is going to be about everything from love to family to motherhood to heartbreak to even the world we're in today. Um, yeah, yeah. But I go by my pen name, which is AJLH. I don't go by my first name and I don't go by my middle name. So,
All right. Well, you heard the butterflies. They're doing things. They're doing things. And so I also have a manual coming out that I am writing right now. And so that is the accumulation of my years walking by faith, what I have seen throughout the country since 2009, when I chose to give the riches and the path up and to take this path to find really who it is that I am, what I'm supposed to be doing. And funny, ironically, Pi and the five S's and training you ladies and getting you ready for leadership and to do this thing. I was like, okay, that's it. Yay, we made it. Yay, that's it. And then I go on this 40-day cleanse, this deep 40-day cleanse, and things start downloading like crazy. And I realized that it's not so much the organization itself, but it's more so how did I get to disconnect myself from the future? How did I maintain without my career for all these years? How did I sustain all the miracles that met me along the way, all the obstacles that tried to stop me along the way? And I don't focus on that, but what I focus on is what was it that allowed me to keep going. And what the world doesn't know, that you ladies know who have walked with me, is the level of things I've had to really walk out and how long I have fought and how I kept getting back up again. And that's what it's really all about. How and still to have that same love, if not even more love for my community, to be even more laser focused on what it is that my purpose is, and to never worry about finances. Having that much faith to say, I don't care. I trust you. Didn't have no money saved up in the bank. Didn't have no older woman to sit down and talk to me and counsel me about. So when I cashed out, I thought I had so much retirement until there was something called penalty for early retirement and took half the money that I thought that I had for myself. In all the different areas I had to walk out, all the different paths that I've been able to bless to be on. And it's an accumulation of all the different spiritual sects and paths that I've been able to sit with my sisters, my brothers. It's also coming from a place that has academia when it comes to trauma informed. I have my certifications. I've been through all their training. And I don't take anything away from my brothers and sisters who have the academia that have written for Time magazine and, Forbes and all these, Psychology Today and all these accolades that they have. Hats off to you. All I'm saying is the places where I drove, the places where I lived, the people that I see are not reading Time magazine, are not reading Forbes magazine. They're not reading Black Psychology Today. And they're not coming into your clinics. And even if they do come into the clinics, normally it's forcible, or even if they volunteer and they get in there, there's something that is not getting all the way to the root. And I'm not saying everybody, but I will tell you there's too many young women that I know that have gone through these programs that have $1 million fundings, but yet the young women are still getting caught up. At today, let's look at Houston, spring break, and how they were conducting and acting. And you people look at that and see that there's nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong with that. Who are they emulating? Who do they think that they are? The world has given them costumes to look at, performers to look at. And they don't understand that these are performers. It does not mean that I go out and I dress this way, that someone who's getting paid $1 million something to have custom made clothes to look sexy or whatever is for the stage. You don't see them when they're done performing in their regular street clothes, in their regular clothes when they're with their children, how they speak and what they let their children listen to. And so it is urgent. Too many generations have gone by without us not knowing who we are and not having real circles and real groups that come from the ear of us. Those of us that have not left the community. Those of us that are in the community every day. Those of us that have boots on the ground. Those of us that have been through the pits of hell and made it out. We are the voices that need to be heard. We are the ones that have the answer because we are the ones that made it. Think about that. Without a degree, without all of these things that they're saying that is necessary, we have made it, excuse me for my nose, we have made it. And the one common thing that I can tell you The one common thing that I can tell you that really truly has, and I will speak for every person on the panel, and I normally don't do that, it is our spiritual life. That is the connection. That is the strongest connection that I know. And I know that in a lot of Western theology, when it comes to taking care of our mental stability, that they don't see that as a viable support. They put their own things and works above spiritual connection. And that's what makes Pi different, is we do not start from the place of trauma. We start from the place of restoration. I'll say that again. We're not focusing on your trauma. Oh, hold on, this piece, this puzzle piece. Okay. We're not focusing on your trauma. I don't need you to repeat over and over and over again your trauma. We focus on restoration, on letting you know you're not what you used to be, that you're changing. There's greatness inside of you, leading you toward the light, leading you toward who you are, leading you toward your strength. Because your strength does not come from me. It doesn't come from anybody here. Your strength comes from what's already inside of you. That guide that was sent here with you. And however you see that and however you call that, again, you are still welcome. All I say is, I'm going to hold you accountable to it. I'm not going to ask you to change into who I think you should be or what my pathway. It's not about that. But daggone sure is going to hold you accountable for the person the woman that you say you are. It's not punishment. It's so that we can sharpen one another, so we can get about. It's going to take sharpness. It's going to take a sharp sword to cut the tentacles that were systematically set up for us to be confused, to be against one another, and to not really know our true worth or who we truly are. So at Pi, we do celebrate that we are beautiful melanated women. We celebrate the fact that we are women that have been through some things and we have made it to the other side. And we call for our sisters because we hear you. We understand you. This ain't textbook over here culture. This ain't a culture you have to add on to your program. We are cultural diversity. We are cultural arts. We are cultural literature. We are cultural healing, agriculture. We do it all, from eating well to cooking to whatever you need is here. It's whether or not you decide to pick it up. But it's available. And just like any other college, you take what you want to take. If you don't want to take the fitness, you don't have to take the fitness. You don't want to do the healthy eating, you ain't got to do the healthy eating. But it's here. It's available to you. Entrepreneurship is here. It's available to you. Real sisterhood, it is here and it is available to you. We just ask that you give us the same grace that we give you as we grow together, we walk together, because it is real. And we don't intentionally try to trigger one another, but that's why it's real. And the first class that you go through most of the time, if you're coming into 5S's, is my life story. And I share a very transparent, so transparent it's ridiculous. I tell you, you know it all. Why? Because I want you to know that if I can tell you my story and you can see where I really come from, that you would know that there's greatness inside of you, that you would know that your spirit that inside of you is stronger than any weapon formed against you, that you would know that your strength first lies from within, and that you would know that you have a community that is serious about you. And we have been in preparation for years, because I don't take it lightly. And we've been in preparation, in prayer, and we are ready for you. So thank you so much for your time tonight. Again, we are the Pi team. I am Marike. You have Ashley, Asia, and Rashani, the butterflies. And we will see you all again next week. Have a beautiful rest of your week from our hearts to yours. Good night.